let me ask you something kind of uncomfortable. Do you ever feel like you're constantly working, but somehow you're not really getting anywhere? Like you're doing all the right things as an agency owner or freelancer, ideas flying everywhere, clients needing you, trying to keep up with AI, trying to post content, trying to get more reviews, and yet you look up and your biggest goals still feel just out of reach. That's you. Let me give you the most freeing insight you'll hear all year. You don't need a new goal. You need better systems, because here's the truth. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Most people think the problem is willpower or discipline, or that they haven't found the right motivation yet. Nope. The real problem, they're trying to run a business on vibes and adrenaline instead of predictability and repeatable systems. And I can say that confidently because years ago, I was that guy. I thought success was about working harder, grinding longer, relying on caffeine and chaos and good intentions and motivation. But when I finally stepped away from motivation mode and started building fail-safe systems for my business, my content, my clients, and even my personal habits, everything changed. It's the reason Reviewly.ai exists. It's the reason my companies run smoother now than they have ever before. And it's the reason I can help thousands of business owners automate trust, scale reputation, and get more done without burning out. So, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to build systems that work harder than you ever could, even on your worst days. Systems that don't require willpower, don't require motivation, don't require to feel inspired. Systems that pull you forward instead of you needing to push. Let's start with the big mindset shift that most people never make. Goals are the compass, systems are the vehicles. And most agency owners are out here just staring at the compass, but never actually getting in the car. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Most people say things like, I want more clients. I want to post every day. I want to grow my agency. I want to get more reviews. Cool. Those are goals. Those goals feel good today. They give your brain a little dopamine hit because it feels like progress. But goals do absolutely nothing tomorrow. Systems do. They work while you sleep. Here's a quick example. Goal is, I want to get more clients this month. System is, every Monday at 9 a.m., open your pipeline, send 10 personalized AI assisted outreach messages, log the replies, follow the automation path, and book calls on autopilot. See the difference? One is a wish, the other is a workflow. That's not motivation, that's machinery. If you've ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly grow, it's not because they want it more, it's because their systems are doing the heavy lifting when their brain doesn't feel like it. And if you think about it, your brain is the worst CEO ever. It gets tired, it gets moody, it gets distracted. It will absolutely sell you out for a quick dopamine hit. So when someone says, I just can't stay motivated, no, you don't have a motivation problem. You have a systems problem. When you have the right systems in place, you don't need to feel inspired. You just need to show up and follow the recipe. And once you really understand this, your whole life becomes easier. All right, that's the foundation. Now, let me tell you a quick story that made this click for me in a big way. So let me tell you the moment this whole systems over motivation thing really clicked for me. Years ago, before Reviewly, before any of the businesses I help run today, I was stuck in the exact same loop you might be in right now. I wake up fired up with big plans. By noon, I was behind. By 3 p.m., I was putting out fires. By evening, all my goals turned into, I'll do it tomorrow. And if you've ever had that voice in your head that says, dude, what is wrong with me? Yeah, same. I honestly thought I had a discipline problem. Me, of all people, a motivation problem. Maybe I'm not cut out for this problem. But looking back, none of that was true. I didn't have a motivation problem. I had a system problem. And more accurately, no systems at all. Everything depended on me being on my energy, on my willpower, on my mood, on whether the planets aligned and my coffee hit at just the right time. And here's the funny thing. Every successful person I admired, none of them worked that way. They weren't winging it. They weren't relying on how they felt that day or how their success just wasn't in the cards. Their success wasn't a gamble. They had systems, they had automation, they had triggers, they had routines engineered to make success inevitable. And once I started studying that and actually building systems into my life and business, everything got easier. Client acquisition became predictable. Content stopped feeling like a chore. Results stopped coming from luck, and ironically, I stopped feeling burnt out. That mindset is why Reviewly exists, by the way, because I kept seeing local business owners intend to ask for reviews, but they never actually did. They forgot. It was awkward. It was inconsistent. Their system was basically hope the customer remembers. We replaced that with triggers, automations, follow-up sequences, and AI handling the friction. Boom, problem solved. Not because they tried harder, but because their systems did the work for them. And I want the same for you. So now I'm going to walk you through the exact blueprint you can use to build systems that run your business so you don't have to run everything manually like a psychotic octopus. This is the heart of the video. All right, so now let's get into the part that actually changes your life. If you take nothing else from this video, take this. Every system, no matter how simple or advanced, has three parts: a trigger, process, a tracking mechanism. If even one of these is missing, the whole system collapses. Let's break each one down in a way that's stupid simple to apply. A trigger is the moment that activates the system without you needing to think. This is where 90% of people fail because they rely on memory, and memory is trash for building a business. A trigger is something like time-based. Every Monday at 9 a.m., pipeline review. Or event-based. When a client signs, onboarding begins automatically. Or completion-based. When a job is finished, send a review request. The simplest triggers are the most powerful. Let me give you an agency-specific example. Every day at 11 a.m., time-based, your CRM automatically surfaces 10 people to follow up with. No thinking, no drama, no scrolling. Just here are your 10, send the messages. Trigger equals the moment the system wakes up. Not your motivation, not your feelings, a trigger. Once the trigger fires, the system needs a predefined process. Here's where people blow it. They say things like, I'm gonna post every day. I'm gonna do outreach. I'm gonna learn AI. That's not a process. That's a wish. A process looks like a recipe. Do X, then Y, then Z. If you can't hand the system to someone else and then have them run it exactly, you don't have a system yet. Let me give you a real example. This is vague. I should create content, and here's the system. The trigger. Every Monday at 8 a.m., the process looks like this. Open content board in Notion, run the 10 hooks AI prompt, choose 5, film for 20 minutes, drop raw videos in editing folder. And then here's the tracking. 5 pieces of content uploaded by noon. This is where the magic happens. Tracking isn't about accountability. In the guru sense, it's about visibility. You can't improve what you can't see. Tracking is simply, did the system run or not? Did the outcome happen or not? Tracking examples for entrepreneurs are daily outreach numbers, content drafts completed, task checklist completion. Tracking isn't emotional, tracking is binary. It's the system ran or the system didn't. And here's the part most people miss. When you track your systems, you stop relying on memory and you start relying on data, which turns you from a stressed out freelancer into a calm operator. So now you have the blueprint: trigger, process, and tracking. That's a skeleton of every high performance system you'll ever build. But there's still one obstacle we need to remove: the emotional friction, because even with systems, most people still get stuck. So let's fix that next. All right, now I need to talk about something no one likes admitting. Most systems don't break because they're bad, they break because you get emotional. Let me explain. You could have the cleanest, simplest system in the world: a trigger, process, a clear tracking loop, but then life happens. You get tired, a client gets annoyed, your inbox blows up, your kid gets sick like mine is today, your brain tries negotiating with you. Dude, not today. You're exhausted. Just skip it. Let's do it later. You can double up tomorrow. That emotional resistance is the silent killer. And if you don't remove it up front, you'll keep abandoning systems that would have made you a machine. So here's the shift. Your job is to eliminate decisions before they ever drain your willpower, because decision making is actually the most exhausting part of your day. You're not tired because you work too hard. You're tired because you had to think too much. So let's talk about removing emotional friction in a way that makes systems effortless to follow. Here are 3 practical ways. The first one is remove decision fatigue. Think about it. Every time you do something manually, should I post today? Should I follow up? What should I work on next? You're burning willpower. Willpower is a fuel tank. And by noon, most people are empty. So instead, you pre-decide everything. At 8 a.m. I film, at 11 a.m. I follow up, at 3 p.m. I check my pipeline. No thinking, it's on your calendar, just execution. This alone will save you hours of wasted energy. The second one is remove friction. If you want a system to stick, you must eliminate friction points. Here's the rule. Every extra step is a chance for your system to break and die. Want to work out in the morning? Lay out your clothes the night before. Put your shoes by the door, put water next to your bed. Want to create content? Have templates and prompts ready. Set up your filming space once, batch everything on the same day. Small changes to remove huge emotional barriers. And then the final one is remove ambiguity. Ambiguity is the enemy of execution. If your system has gaps like, I'll write when I feel inspired, or I'll send outreach when I have time, I'll ask for reviews when I remember, your system will fail. A system succeeds when you know exactly what to do, when to do it, how to do it, where it fits, what completion looks like. Clarity kills resistance. Resistance kills momentum. Systems don't fail because you're lazy. Systems fail because emotion sneaks into the equation. Your job is to engineer your life so the system requires no thinking, no debating, no negotiating, no convincing yourself, no willpower. Just trigger, process, tracking. And the more emotion you remove, the more consistent and powerful your system becomes. Now, once you remove the emotional friction, there's a step most people skip. Make your systems boring. And I know that sounds weird, but stick with me, all right? This is the next part, which is one that usually surprises people. Systems only work when they're boring. Let me say that again. If your system feels exciting, motivating, high energy, creative, it probably won't last. Why? Because excitement isn't repeatable. Motivation isn't repeatable. Energy isn't repeatable. But boring is consistent. And consistency is the entire game. Think about the most successful people you follow. The ones who seem effortless. The ones who always show up. The ones who never seem frazzled or overwhelmed. Do you think their success comes from magical bursts of energy creating every morning? No. They're following extremely boring, extremely predictable systems and habits. Here's what boring looks like in practice. Writing content at the same time every week, using the same AI prompt every time you start, sending follow-ups at the same hour every day. Boring systems produce exciting results. Exciting systems produce burnout. Let me give you a specific example. Most entrepreneurs think content creation should feel inspired, like you should wait for the muse to strike. But the creators who grow like crazy, they batch record at the same time every week in the same setup with the same prompt, regardless of how they feel. That's boring, and it's why it works. It's simple, it's predictable, boring, and boring wins. Here's a rule you can tattoo on your forehead. If your system bores you, it will build you. If your system excites you, it will probably break. Predictability equals repeatability. Repeatable equals results. Results equals momentum, and momentum equals freedom. That's the change. And when you start designing systems around boredom instead of inspiration, you'll start seeing results that matter that almost seem unfair. But there's still one more layer we need to add. Systems need regular maintenance, just like a car, just like a marriage, just like your phone battery. So here's something almost nobody tells you about systems. Every system you build will eventually break, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because life changes, business changes, you change. And that's actually a good thing, because the goal isn't to build a system once and hope it lasts forever. The system goal is to build an anti-fragile system. Systems that get stronger every time they break. Let me show you how to do it. Do the weekly system audit. This is a ritual I've done for years. Every week, usually Sunday or Monday, I run a simple, brutally honest audit. Did the system run? Yes or no? Did it work? Did it produce the result I wanted last week? What friction showed up? Where did it hesitate? Where did it stall? What broke? And then be specific. Was it timing, process, tools, emotional resistance? Like, how do I fix one thing? Not everything, just the bottleneck. This one habit alone has improved my life and business more than any productivity hack on earth, because here's the truth. Most people build a system once and then never touch it again. That's like buying a car and never taking it in for maintenance. Eventually, the engine clunks, sputters, and collapses. Then people say, ugh, I'm just not consistent. No, your system aged and you didn't update and evolve with it. You don't have a discipline problem, you have a maintenance problem. See how broken systems can make you stronger? Everyone loves the idea of being anti-fragile, but very few people actually apply it. Here's what anti-fragile means in your business. Your outreach system breaks, you rebuild it smarter. Your content system stalls, you simplify it. Your review flow slows down, you improve the trigger. Every time a system breaks, you gain data. Data tells you what the next version needs, and that new version is better than the old one. This is why highly systemized people look calm. It's not that their systems never break, it's that they expect them to, and they're ready to rebuild and grow. This is how agency owners grow from chaos to clarity to control and to scale. The real win is you become a systems operator, not a system. This is where your identity shifts. At some point, you stop being the person who runs every system and you become the person who designs the systems. Every successful agency owner eventually reaches this level. They spend less time executing, more time refining, less time reacting. That's what creates control, then consistency, then momentum, then scale, then freedom. Now, we're almost at the end and we're about to hit the emotional payoff, the why all this matters. We've talked triggers, processes, tracking, friction, auditing, upgrading, but let's zoom out and talk about the real reason any of this matters, because systems aren't just about efficiency. They're not about productivity hacks. They're not about squeezing more work into your day. Systems are about one word: freedom. Let me explain. Most agency owners, freelancers, and entrepreneurs live in a constant state of low-level stress. What if I forgot something? What if I fall behind? What if I can't keep up? You know that feeling where you're mentally juggling 19 things at once? That's not entrepreneurship. That's lack of systems, because when you have a real system in place, your brain shuts up. That background anxiety disappears. You stop reacting, you start operating. Let me show you what freedom looks like when you're systemized. Freedom number one, freedom from overthinking. You're no longer asking, what should I do today? The system tells you. Freedom number two is the freedom from decision fatigue. You're not making 50 tiny decisions that drain your energy. Everything's pre-decided. Freedom number three is freedom from inconsistency. Whether you feel motivated, tired, inspired, or dead inside, your system still runs. That alone can change your life. Freedom number four is freedom from the hustle culture. You stop grinding randomly and start executing strategically. Freedom number five, freedom to scale. Systems make hiring easy, makes delegation easier, makes growth predictable. Freedom number six is the freedom to be present, because your brain isn't juggling everything anymore. Your systems are. And here's my favorite part. When you build the systems right, your systems start building you. They start shaping your identity, they start reshaping your habits, and they start lifting your self-worth. Motivation doesn't move you, systems move you. And the more you rely on systems, the more you're going to trust yourself, the less you need willpower, and the more consistent you'll become. And then the more your results will start to compound. That's the ultimate freedom. Not time freedom, not money freedom, mental freedom. The freedom to know everything is handled. The freedom to know you're growing every week. The freedom to know your business is running like a machine. And yes, this applies to everything. Getting clients, creating content, delivering your service, everything. All of it gets easier once you stop relying on your mood and start relying on your systems. All right. Now that we've gone through the entire frameworks, we close and we're going to go through this entire process with you. Okay. Nothing hypey, nothing salesy, just an invitation that if this video hit home for you and you're sitting there thinking, man, I really do need systems. I've been trying to grow on motivation, not structure. Here's what I want you to do next. Come hang out with us in my Skool group community. It's where I go way deeper into building systems for client acquisition, AI workflows, automation, and yes, systems for scaling reputation using tools like Reviewly.ai. It's not a place where people brag or pretend that they're crushing it. It's literally just operators, agency owners, freelancers, and service pros who want to build real systems that make business predictable. Inside, I share the exact workflows I use in my business, step-by-step pipelines for getting clients, automation templates that you could just install in your business. And here's a big thing. You don't have to build your systems alone. You can copy mine, copy the communities, you can adapt them, upgrade them, make them your own. If you ever wanted a space where businesses don't feel chaotic, where you can actually think and build your business like an operator, this is it. So if that sounds good to you, click on the link in the description and join the Skool community. It's free to join. Come peek inside, lurk for a bit, take what you need, build what you want. All right, my friend, success isn't about being motivated. It's about being systemized. Build the right systems, and those systems will build the right version of you. I'll see you in the next one, and hopefully inside our Skool community.